I like pushing you off the couch?
No, am I pushing you off? And we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Let's start it.
Hi friends, Zoey here with Sab. We are back for another episode of Let's Talk Love. And today we're talking all about breakups, letting a guy down easy, the falling out of love, falling out of likeness, feelings, things. Yeah. We're gonna talk all about that. Yeah. So let's get started. All right. So Sav, I mean, we've talked all about dating, relationships, crushes, this attraction. So when you start to fall out of love, like we're just gonna call it love, even though we've already talked about how we don't know if we've ever been in love.
This probably wasn't love, that's why.
Yeah. But when you fall...
Without discrediting like what we've had. I don't want to like sue her.
Oh yeah.
Or take away from. I've had long-term relationships, so it's so harsh to say.
But it's just like in hindsight, you recognize what it was.
Yeah. You were young.
You were young, you were infatuated, having all kinds of feelings, and they're valid at the time. It's beautiful for what it was, but I believe that the lasting love lasts. So falling out of feelings, we'll say. So I know myself in the past, when I've broken up with guys, I've let it drag out. I've like definitely known that I was not gonna be with this person, and I let it drag out because I didn't want to hurt their feelings, or I didn't want the drama. I tend to have dated guys who dramatic breakups. That's been a problem for me.
We've never had anybody fall out of love with us. Like, you have no big heartbreak, do you? No.
No.
Me either. I've never like had my heart broken.
No. It's hard to hurt another person like that.
So hard to hurt.
But you know that it's better for them, right? Because you don't want them to be spending their time, energy, and efforts in a relationship with you if you're not feeling that same way with them.
Exactly. I kind of find it always happens. It's like we always talk about like the ego. Well, I talk about the ego and like what feeds your ego, and I think that's a huge part of relationships and who you date. And I love finding the hardest possible guy to tame in my mind, and then being like, can I do it? And then when you do, you don't want them anymore. But sometimes that takes years, and so you end up in this long-term relationship and you do become best friends with this person, and it is amazing and all these things, and that's why they do commit. And then for some reason, as soon as that like excitement and that whole thing of falling in love is over and you've fallen in love, maybe you realize there was no love at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think like that's your thing, because you've always dated people you were really compatible with.
Yeah.
And I've dated people that we just butted heads like all the time, and we just were still in a relationship, and it really just didn't make any sense. Yeah. It didn't make sense at all, because we just definitely weren't right for each other. But like I said, it dragged on because I had a difficult time breaking up with people, and then in the end, I take full responsibility that like the breakup was probably like even worse because I'm the one who let it drag out.
And then they start to resent you because you end up being mean to them. You turn into this like devil in the relationship.
No, you don't. You cannot be a devil, Sam.
No, you do though. You do.
I think,
like, you end up being mean to them unintentionally because you just don't care.
Yeah, but you date nice guys. Like I can't say the same.
You can't say the same. Everyone I've ever dated has been like the nicest and the funnest, and like we've been best friends. I think that's why I've let it drag on so long, and we never fight. So it's really hard to leave somebody when you're like, we are so compatible, but it's like something's off.
So how does the spark leave then? Because you're describing this relationship and I'm like, that sounds like my dream relationship, like my best friend that I have like fun with.
I think that like sexually it ends, and that's when you know. As soon as like that part is over, then it's over, or you stop kind of getting like excited to see them, and you start like making plans with your friends more and more and more and more. I don't know what it is. It just stops one day.
I mean, we've been in completely different relationships, but I'm picturing myself like if I were like in your shoes, if you are dedicated to making something work, like you will consistently try. But like if it just wasn't the right fit for you, you're not going to try because there's no motivation there.
Also, I think it's a power balance. As soon as somebody gives you the power, you don't want them anymore. It needs to be this really good dynamic. They shouldn't have all the power, but you shouldn't also. And I've always had, I think what I felt was like more power than I ever wanted. But I'm the one that made it that way, so it's like a self-sabotage. But as soon as you get the power, it's like, it's human nature. You don't want to be in like full control of everything.
The partnership should be quite equal. Even. Of course, if somebody has a bad day, like let's say I'm like super sad about something, the other person's gonna give a little bit more. But like I'm a giver myself,
I'm a giver too.
And I would need another giver. Like, I think that's what I need. Is like, because two givers together, you're very much invested in making something work and growing something and having it flourish.
They can't give too much and you can't give too much. You still need to like maintain
the balance. The energetic balance. Because this is the thing, if you give and give and give, and the other person doesn't give back, it causes resentment. In this topic of how we just recently spoke about letting relationships drag on, and the spark is definitely gone, and there's no attraction left. The second that starts to happen, if you're not willing to put in the effort to try to fix it, it's already over. Yeah. It's already over, because then you hit this point of no return, and it turns tumultuous. And like you said, you'd be mean to each other.
Yeah, and it ends up being more hurtful because like someone can tell, like when you're like in love and infatuated with someone, you're like all over them, but as soon as that goes away and you pull back, well, that person's gonna do a 180 and be like, what's going on?
Yeah, and then also it's not fair to them. Yeah, they probably don't feel good about themselves.
Exactly, it hits their ego. Imagine like just this constant feeling of rejection from your own girlfriend. That's not good.
No, so you gotta end the relationship.
Gotta get out.
One of the questions was how to let a guy down gently.
I think you break up with them like for yourself. Like you tell them that it's not about them.
I haven't had a decent breakup, so.
I've had some really uncomfortable ones.
Even though people say it's not you, it's me, it actually always comes down to being you. Because something isn't working for you and your needs aren't being met, and it has nothing to do with the other person. Like you said, the other person is caring, giving, generous, kind. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
So it really isn't them, it's what's going on with you. You're like, I grew out of this relationship.
What I always use is, and I feel it, I genuinely feel it, is like, this isn't the time. I'm not ready for this, but I think that like we are so good together that like down the line, if it's meant to be, we will end up back together. And so you almost leave them with this false hope, which I think is unfair. But I've genuinely felt that when I've said it. It is honest, but maybe that's not the best thing to do. Maybe just be straight up. Sometimes I feel like just hearing the bloody honest truth would be better.
Yeah, in person.
None of
this like over text message.
Oh my god. Do people still do that?
Well, sort of. Italian guy, like.
Just ghost.
Yeah.
Best advice, just stop responding, block numbers, just disappear.
If you're gonna be in a relationship with someone, like a long-term relationship, give them the decency to do that in person.
Oh yeah, everything. You must, like, all conversations must be in person.
It's disrespectful, I think. I find it very shocking when I hear about these things.
I find it shocking.
Shocking. What if when you break up with a guy and they try to get you back but you're not interested? So if you're letting the guy down gently, I'm sure that they've come back a little.
Ooh, you just give the real cold shoulder.
And you can't go back into, like, you can't be in the relationship and then play these, like, fun little games like, ooh, maybe we'll get back together, friends with benefits for a while. That does not work.
But, I mean, we've always broken up and, like, haven't been wanting that. I think I maybe did that, like, a couple
I think
times,
I didn't want it. But it just doesn't work.
Like,
if the relationship is over, it's over. Respect it. If you feel tempted to message them and say
1 a.m. when you're drunk,
do not. If you've broken up with someone, say you're alone at night listening to John Mayer, I miss him, like, I just want to talk to him. You're going through the motions. The next day you wake up, and if you didn't message him, you're gonna be happy that you didn't, and if you did, you're gonna be like, why did I do that?
See, I've been lucky. I've always, like, lived in another country than the person, so I'll like FaceTime when I'm feeling sad, because they're like your best friend, and you feel like, oh, I want to talk to this person, but because you've ended it with them, you're just like stringing them along, and then they think that they have a chance, but you're just doing it because you want them as a friend. They don't want to be your friend.
Do you believe guys and girls can be just friends? Like, to what extent is that?
No. Yeah, actually, some. But friends with a guy you're dating is like where it's possible, but then you also hear where people get together, so that's weird.
So I've heard girls can be friends with guys.
Totally.
But guys,
if opportunity given, will sleep with you.
Is this true?
Oh yeah, Zoe, hands down. Maybe not always, but
do you think they've, like, thought about it?
Oh yeah. It's surprising me, because when you're good friends with a guy, you show them sides of yourself that they should not want to sleep with. You're just like ruthless around them, but
I say girls and guys can be friends.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. If you are in a relationship with someone and you have a guy friend, you can't be close with this guy because he's not in this circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not fair to your boyfriend to have another number one.
We've both lost a best friend. You know what it is? It's when you're both single but you miss the feeling of having somebody there.
And you rely on each other.
You rely on this person to be they do Valentine's Day for each other, but it's not lovey. And you do all this stuff, but when the guy gets a girlfriend, well, all of a sudden he's not doing Valentine's Day for you anymore, and that's deeply upsetting.
Yeah, what I found is with guy-girl friendships and stuff is that you can't depend on that person for another need that their new relationship is trying to meet, because the girl's gonna despise you.
Yeah.
For example, if I were to like get a boyfriend, I wouldn't go hang out one-on-one with my friend that was a guy before.
Oh, would you not?
I wouldn't.
Right.
Like, I don't know, unless it was helping him buy his girlfriend a present or something like that.
Yeah. I would have like sleepovers and stuff.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah. But like platonic. Like, I feel like that was fine. Like, I'd go over and watch movies and then just pass out. And
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm just staying here tonight. And I had another boyfriend. But it wasn't like that. But like you said, like you both with that friend and me with this friend, there was boundaries crossed at a point, right? So technically, can you call yourself ever just friends? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Circumstantial, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of people in the world that would say yes, but I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no too. Unless it's the guy that you're dating's
like
friends.
You can't be that good of friends. You can be friends. Like you friends with the guy
Mutual,
you're dating.
you can be Facebook friends.
It's so fun. Like you can go hang out and go for lunch and do whatever because it's fine.
But nothing more.
No.
No sleepovers.
No sleepovers.
Anyways, that brings us to the end of this episode. Breakups. Somehow that turned into guys and girls being friends and all that jazz, but like, we're covering it all here. We actually want to do a podcast on dating.
I really want to do a podcast.
Let us know if you guys would tune in. If you've made it this far in the series, let us know. Tomorrow we're talking about marriage, the future, manifesting, dream guys, all that good stuff.
Bye guys.